late Hasan Pogo. "9 months, finally got a hat. Three. Let's go. As fatty. You mean so much to me, Hasan and Chat Has. Let's go. From the river to the sea has buff, Palestinian territories. From the river to the sea has buff, Palestinian territories. Alien PLS. Jesus Christ, I can't believe it's actually been 9 months. Where has the time gone? What is the meaning of life? How does one reconcile with his own mortality? Sag. Help, I forgot how to unsub. As buff. number go up. Hey IOU chat. RIP Kintaro Miura berserk forever. Subscribe to Fear and Mauling on YouTube to get the podcast without horrible ambulance siren ads. Rate 5/5 podcast. 5/5 heart attack while driving to work. Chat, I have my math final today. Wish me luck, please, people shy. Free Palestine. Oh wow, it's been 9 months for me. Hi. "17 months, baby, let's go Lula 2022. "6 months of getting politics shot up straight into my veins. Hassle. Am I a communist yet? HasanAbi Piker. Hasan Piker. 2 yil. You have 2 yil. 2 yil. 2 yil to beat the nameless king. 2 yil. Chat looking extra cute today, hassle. Happy Annie BB.
What's going on, everybody? I hope everyone's having a fantastic evening, afternoon, pre-noon. No matter where you are in the world, I'm Hasan Piker, and this is the HasanAbi broadcast coming to you live from sunny California, Los Angeles. Beautiful day out here today. And we are live and alive, folks.
People, hey chat, you look cute today.
And I hope all the boys, girls, and MBs are having a good one, a fantastic day. It is Thursday, May 20th, 2021, 11:58.
Please, people shy.
11:58 a.m. I'm an hour late to the broadcast, and I apologize. But I had to do it, okay? I had to do it to him. I had to be an hour late. I'm sorry.
Hasan and Murat, the kings of Turkey Pogu.
I'm really tired. This has been a crazy week. Lots of meetings, lots of shoots.
14 months, what a right hassle.
Lots of going to houses and stuff. It's fucking killing me a little bit, okay? It's just like, yesterday I had Vice over to just like shoot my process on the behind the scenes, you know?
And creator of the famous manga and anime Berserk. All right.
And today I'm late because I was going and looking at houses with my dad.
6 months, Spog.
Why is this guy still talking about music while you wait, chat? Motherfucker, I'm live. Like, are you unaware? He's like, hey man, hey chat, like he's not live yet, so just like keep go to my Beat Sense playlist, dude.
Three.
Anyway. Like, what do they see?
Jesus Christ, it's been
Do they
10
see the
months.
chat moving
Free
really
Palestine.
fast and they think
Free
to themselves
Palestine.
like, oh, that's really
Free
strange
Palestine.
that there's a lot of
Free
people in the
Palestine.
offline chat?
Free
Like, how does that
Palestine.
work in their minds,
Free
I wonder?
Palestine. Free Palestine. Free Palestine. Free Palestine. Arjan? Pogo?
Anyway, did you see the LeBron game winner yesterday? Of course not. I don't watch basketball, dude. No, I've been watching the what's it called? I've been watching the Halston Netflix show. It's really good.
Hasan lives rent-free in my brain, Sag.
Halston. It has probably the most gay sex I've ever seen. Like, straight up. It's like an unexpected amount of butt fucking. Like, an unexpected amount. They just straight up, like, Ewan McGregor is just taking it up the ass.
Got my
like,
initial hormone therapy
a lot.
appointment tomorrow. Let's go.
It's very good. The show is very good. Unrelated to the butt fucking. I describe it as a gay Devils Wear Prada. No. I think it's a lot more compelling than... I think it's a lot more compelling than The Devil Wears Prada. Like, there's so much... There is so much character development. It's not even good butt fucking. Is it bad butt fucking? I don't know. I don't know what the distinction is.
Yo.
Even Ewan McGregor is looking so goddamn good at 50 years old. Yeah. Yeah, dude, his character is he just reminds me of Will, dude. Like, his character, Ewan McGregor's character in that show is exactly like Will. Like, nearly identical to Will. When Will does like a gay character, when he does gay characters, like the way he speaks, the mannerisms, it's like exactly like Will. It's weird. Even the fucking hair, even his hair looks like Will's hair. But I don't mean like I don't mean like his German gay character. He just like, he has like an American gay character too. How has the house search been going? Also, stay hydrated. All love. House search is all right.
14 months. Wow. Who would have known we would
Wait,
go
Will
into a
isn't
global
gay?
pandemic
No, Will
forcing
is
us
not
to
gay.
quarantine, which would cause me to develop a parasocial attachment to the cutest / hottest / smartest / most based streamer on Twitch. Hassle. Also music lovers stream LOOKIN. Pee-poo check.
The show I'm talking about is Halston. Kintaro Miura, the author and creator of Berserk, died at the age of 54. His influence on entertainment and video games can't be understated. Soul series took a lot of inspirations from his work. Everyone should pay him respect as one of the best manga artists of all times and the most influential creator of the dark fantasy in modern times. R.I.P. Sensei Miura. Oh no. Does that mean that Berserk will never be finished then? It means that, like, wasn't he like notorious for taking... I mean, I guess it was never going to be finished anyway. I made the music for the Halston trailer, says Megaphonics. Oh, nice. I went to the strip club for the first time last weekend and got a private dance, and we ended up talking about art and politics for like half the time, and both talked about how we watch you. Wait, what? You went to a strip club and you and the lady that you got a dance from talked about watching the HasanAbi broadcast? What the fuck, dude? That's weird, but hey, I respect it.
Almost here, hassle. Changed my whole perspective of the world in just 6 months. Thanks, man, you're the goat.
Apparently he left an outline with the crew he worked with, so there's hope for Berserk.
Monkey flip.
It was theorized it will be completed by one of his apprentices and that he already had the ending mapped out, but it was taking him a long time to draw it. There is still chances. I mean, I don't really like the manga like that, so I don't really care about it like that. But
from Transfrog,
you know, like how does that even come up? Like when you're getting a lap dance, how does it come up where you're just like, yo, I know you're throwing it back right now, but like, what's your favorite political broadcasters? Like, you want to just, like, I'm still thinking about that. Like, how do you just like, yo, you're doing a great job. I'm loving this private dance. Okay. But what I want to know is like, while you're throwing it back, what I want to know is not what that mouth do, but instead
10 months,
what that brain do.
Again. Tomboy Thursday.
I love the way you're dancing. The way you're currently gyrating on my genitals reminds me of how I love the HasanAbi broadcast.
Rest in peace, Kintaro Miura. Berserk forever.
Anyway. Looking at houses, apparently many houses in my area right now are being bought in straight cash up front due to demand. And there was even a guy who paid $300K over asking last week. And this is in Texas. Yeah, Los Angeles. $300K over asking is like normal in Los Angeles. Damn, them titties remind me of the HasanAbi broadcast, dude. Anyway. We're gonna get to the news already because that's pretty much it. Like this incredible this very fucking slammed week for me is finally coming to a close, luckily. So I am a little bit excited about the prospect of just like having a normal one after, like having a normal week next week. You know, I gotta go back to the gym and shit. Like I'm kind of upset that I haven't been able to work out. So that's what I'm excited by. You know, the weekend is here, baby. Let's go. So get fucking stoked on that, boys. I mean, come on. The weekend is right around the corner.
Starts tomorrow.
Weather's actually pretty poggers right now in Los Angeles. I don't know about you guys. It's just like good out here, you know? I'm feeling decent. Vice is not back. No, can't wait to go to brunch. Nah. Dude, when will I have brunch? You know brunch means breakfast and lunch, right? So when would I get to have a breakfast and lunch experience? Just think about that for a second. Like I stream 7 days a fucking week and I'm literally live from 11 a.m. Pacific onwards. What I'm excited about, by the way, personal news, last bit of personal news before I tweet out that I'm live. What I'm actually excited about is Mario Space Odyssey 2001, a Mario Italian Space Odyssey. I was playing it yesterday and she was really good. I really enjoyed it. So that's gonna be fun. That is going to be a fun thing to get back to a little bit later today. WikiLeaks publishing classified U.S. cable with the idea of using Gazans as human shield.
Into a frog since the election, hassle.
Looking very petite and very fertile today, Hasan. What does that mean? What the fuck? Quick early stream meme.
A good one.
Libertarian guys with Asian wives. Yeah, libertarians wish they were that jacked, but yeah, that's a great meme. I just want everybody to admit that I'm fucking the greatest Mario Space Odyssey speedrunner on this platform.
Hello, Hasan.
Like, fuck off Misgift, fuck off Ludwig, you know. Who Omega Lol is Clint. I mean, does he even stream? I think he needs to be able to stream to be considered a streamer. So I guess like he's already eliminated. Small Ant, you can catch these hands. You can catch these big hands. You know what I'm saying? Who else?
Good morning, Hasan.
Who else can I fucking wreck, dude? Who else is out there? Donkey is already like a doo-doo water, you know? Donkey, you're acting kind of funky, you know? Bro, I watched you play yesterday. All I saw was you dying, LMAO. Trihex, obviously, how could I forget Trihex? Nah, Trihex is still... He's better than me. I'll admit Trihex is the only one who I will concede to.
Pogo, Doki Doki Literature Club win Pogo.
Look at Mario Odyssey speedruns. It's literally insane. You're fucking ass at the game, but you keep getting lucky, lol. I think that's copium, my friend. It honestly feels like you're just... Oh, you just keep getting lucky, bro. I'm not a hater. Oh, God. Oh. Anyway, let's fucking blast off, boys. Let's tweet out that I am live. I'm gonna finish this week. I'm gonna finish out this week, boys. This is happening, okay? Daycare is open. After 11 days of bombing
11 months
in Gaza, the U.S. blocks a fourth ceasefire attempt by the UN Tech Council, or just by the UN. But no worries. Biden gave a stern talking to Bibi. Just kidding. We have blood on our hands. Get in now. www.twitch.tv/HasanAbi.
About 2 weeks ago I couldn't tell you anything about the Israel-Palestine conflict. Thanks for catching me up to speed on things.
Why is Cybertruck trending? Ford F-150 lighting versus Tesla Cybertruck.
Palestine made and put up by other students.
I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna keep it a buck 100. I think the F-150 electric truck looks pretty good. And its price point is like right there with the Tesla one. The F-150 electric truck does actually look good.
It's free Palestine always and forever, baby. Let's go.
It actually looks not like dog shit. So... My dad literally put a magnet up to where I got my vaccine to see if I got chipped.
Stand for this devil wears Prada slender.
That's great. Please watch this. Let's laugh a bit, says Amru.
Thanks for all the work you do. Here are some Bezos bucks for your labor.
What is this? No, I'm not going to show that. The stats of the truck are insane. They are both too expensive for normal people. Yeah, it's 40 grand. It's a lot of money for a fucking... It's a lot of money. 40 grand is a lot of money for a base truck. Like, what's the regular F-150 price?
R.I.P. Kintaro.
Let's see. The regular F-150 base price is $28,000. Like, it starts off at The 2021 Ford F-150 starts off at 28 grand.
1 month streak.
Whereas the fucking electric one is like 39. That's crazy. It is definitely a crazy fucking price for a base model. Cars in general are too expensive for the regular folks. Not if you get a fucking secondhand vehicle, baby. What do you mean? It's 40K before tax incentives, 30K in CA, and 33K in every other state for the electric one.
Smiley face. Smiley face. Not as notorious as Hunter X Hunter author.
All right, we're going to talk a little bit before we get to Israel-Palestine. Actually, what we're going to talk about today a little bit is the fucking January 6th commission that's being formed, because like there's some spice there, boys. There's some fucking weird spice there. And what I mean by that is like, I don't really give a shit at this point. We're so far removed. And also, I'm going to be honest with you, like, this is still, you know, theatrical posturing, partisan posturing for the most part, even though it shouldn't. But of course it's going to be. And it's of course going to be held up by the Republican Party, who originally were like, oh, this is unacceptable what Donald Trump is doing. And then like now that we're, you know, months removed from the Trump presidency, like it's fucking done. Now that we're months removed from the Trump presidency, like they're just like, oh, come on, this is crazy. Why don't we do Antifa violence?
Free Palestine brothers.
So here is Senator John Thune on tape
could be
giving the game away on the January 6th commission.
Politically, and drug into next year. Anything that gets us rehashing the 2020 election, I think, is a day lost on being able to draw a contrast between us and the Democrats' very radical left-wing agenda. Could be weaponized.
Yeah. They don't even want to talk about it because it's like they don't want to remind people that that happened and that Republicans look kind of bad. So, you know, there's out of the defenses of the January 6th insurrection, some of my favorites include "It wasn't that bad." Who said that? One of the people. Who was it? Largely peaceful.
7 months.
Ron Johnson, I think it was. Ron Johnson says, and this is incredible. Ron Johnson of Wisconsin suggested on Wednesday that the attack on the U.S. Capitol on January 6th was not an insurrection, but a largely peaceful protest. Probably one of the best ones I've seen.
The fact of the matter is, even calling it an insurrection, it wasn't. You know, I condemn the breach, I condemn the violence, but to say there were thousands of armed insurrectionists, you know, breaching the Capitol, intent on overthrowing the government, is just simply false narrative.
What does that do to your blood pressure?
Well, I've vented.
I love that take, dude. I mean, I love it. It's like 5 people died, but it was a largely peaceful death of 5 people. Like, why are you making a big deal out of this insurrection thing, dude? Oh, shit. As we are talking, apparently 4 minutes ago, breaking fucking news, Israeli media, the Israeli Security Cabinet has approved the ceasefire to end the 11-day military offensive in the Gaza Strip. Holy shit, that's actually huge fucking news. I mean, that we'll see what happens. That's kind of wild. That's good news regardless. But I still worry. I still worry that we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean,
viewer purchases of private debts. Instantly regret citing.
At this point, I don't know what to fucking trust from the Israeli government, boys. I'm sorry. Like, hey, Central Committee, thank you for the raid. Hope you had a good stream.
10 months, comrade.
But here's another politician that kind of looks like Mike, actually. Not as much as de Blasio, though. As I was saying,
really, but high 3.
All right, we'll get to the peace talks, or the ceasefire in a second. But let me continue on the insurrection coverage.
So I feel a little bit better, but it's just it's ridiculous. These guys are getting all wrapped around the axle. They're twisted up in knots trying to figure out how to spin this thing. Look, this is not about spinning. And look, I think we're at a real crossroads in this country. People are tired of the old way, the old politics, that kind of stuff that you just heard that nobody believes that. I mean, come on, like the breach. I mean, it's insane. I mean, over 100 Capitol police officers got hurt. The trauma here among the rank and file.
Yeah, see, this is the stuff like, I'm sorry, boys, I can't get myself to it's important and it's really hypocritical and it's wild that it happened, but right now I can't fucking get myself to
Periscope it, Hasan.
I can't get myself to be like, it's fucking, this is the first and foremost most significant thing
Thank you, Hasan,
we got to talk about right now. So
thanks, chat, for
it's still pretty funny though that they're just like applying some of the most insane don't know what will happen here, but anyway, here it is. Let's move on to the situation in Gaza.
If Hasan is
11 days of bombing has occurred
chat. Thanks for being
in the Gaza Strip, which is the world's largest open air prison, with more than 2 million Palestinians living under Israeli sovereignty. Israel has been bombing the absolute living shit out of the Gaza Strip for 11 days straight. The only neurosurgeon in the Strip was murdered by Israeli bombs. A couple days back, they blew up the only famous bookstore in the Gaza Strip, the library/bookstore. I don't know if the ceasefire is official or not, but it seems like, they have lied before. The Political Security Cabinet has approved a ceasefire in Gaza, from what I understand. The ceasefire date has not been set yet. The cabinet has, in principle, authorized the Prime Minister and the Minister of Defense to determine the date of commencement of the ceasefire in accordance with contacts within the Egyptian government.
Boy, mate, swaggerty good time in it.
This is just a ceasefire approval. It's not necessarily an end time for the
holy 7 months. Pog. Love you, Hassie.
Yo, shut your fucking mouth, bitch. The ceasefire is trash. They shot at us like 5,000 rockets. If we wouldn't have the Iron Dome, we all would be dead. And they even started it, bitch. HasanAbi, so dumb. Here, ladies and gentlemen, is a man who is barely a man who says, go Trump. You look like a monkey, you idiot liberal. Fuck you. Biden is like an old lady, almost like you. Biden is like an old lady, almost like you, and he is dumber than a donkey. Here you have someone who is bloodthirsty and wants to do full genocide and not the half-assed genocide that has been going on, which has killed more than 230 Palestinians, 65 children, 34 women. That's not enough, though. They want to murder all of the Palestinians. All of the Palestinians deserve death in this person's eyes. So he's, of course, not excited about the ceasefire. So very cool. The slow evolution of that guy's... What was the mod comment? I don't know what the mod comment was. But yeah, the day before the November, notice the day that fucking moron said go Trump. It was the day before the election. He took some time off.
Hassle.
It's a one-sided ceasefire from the Israel side. It doesn't matter. Israel controls the as the authorities on the Palestinian side, the Hamas authorities have stated, literally in the morning after the first night of bombing, that A ceasefire can only be achieved if Israel decides to do a ceasefire.
Pog.
So ceasefire from 2 once Egypt sends the message over to Hamas according to channel 12.
Bitches.
Yeah, this is this is good news, as good as news can be for the Palestinians, as good as news can be for the Palestinians living under this horrific occupation. Under no circumstances should a ceasefire be reached with Hamas. You have to keep crushing it from the air more and more until it falls to your knees, and even then continue to crush it until it raises a white flag, and even then continue to crush more and more and stop unilaterally just when there is nothing more to crush. Says this dude. I don't know what the fuck. Is this like a I don't know who this dude is. Is he like a politician or something?
Wow, we clap.
I mean, he's just a fascist. So he's just calling for a genocide. Ironic, once again, from a group of least national. This is the least nationalist man in Israel, boys. Guys, this is the least nationalist man in all of Israel, okay? Your average Israeli supporter of the IDF.
It's crazy how you hated platformers and you finally played a good one and you loved it.
Twitter muted Trump for less. I mean, if Twitter is gonna start fucking muting, if Twitter is gonna start muting like prominent Israeli officials, like, you guys not remember in 2018 when Netanyahu's official account was literally tweeting out like straight Nazi shit, where he was basically like the weak die and perish, the strong survive and thrive. You do not do deals with the weak. It's like, we will murder every one of our enemies. Like, yeah. Religious Zionism head of party is his job. Do you think Israel and Palestine will be peach in 10 to 15 years? Yes, it will be peach. It will all be peach.
Thank God for ceasefire.
Yeah, I just, I find it rather strange that your country has formed in the aftermath of a horrific genocide that your people endured, like your grandparents literally endured. And then so quickly after that, you're just like, oh, never again means like I get a fucking genocide card. Everybody knows this. It's a punch card. Like, if you've been subjected to pogroms throughout history, like after the 10th one, you get to do one for free. And I'm just, I'm just using my fucking extreme rewards, dude. My extreme genocide rewards, boys. It's how it works. It's like he's got fucking frequent traveler miles or some shit to do genocide. Yeah. He lives on an illegal settlement. I mean, yeah.
5 months boggers.
Okay, look at this psychopathic Zionist take. Sorry. That video is so great and so true, dude. The average Turkish cat is weak. Needs to be cleaned by weak hands. So weak. Everyone's laughing at the weak Turkish cat. Whereas the average Armenian cat loves the breakdance.
Free Palestine.
Free Palestine. Israel is killing children. Why there are kids there?
They live there. I mean, the average age in Gaza is like 18.
Capital.
There's a lot of kids there. And it was just yesterday that 11 children were murdered in an ICU.
Dude, that's how is this a video, bro? How do you put this out? You're like, what are the kids doing in the fucking under rocket fire? Like, what a psychotic, like, you didn't even try, dude.
Porgies, thanks Hasan for
like, you didn't even try. You were just like, sort of fuck it. Today, I woke up and I decided not even to fucking try.
Free Palestine. Israel is killing children. Why there are kids there?
They live there. I mean, the average age in Gaza is like 18. There's a lot of kids there. And it was just yesterday that 11 children were murdered in an ICU by Israeli rockets. Which
they weren't, no, it wasn't even an ICU. They weren't they getting treatment for their PTSD from previous fucking bombings? It was like 11 kids that were being treated for PTSD that they got from withstanding fucking Israeli bombings, and then they died.
Which isn't exactly a military target like that person was trying to say. And even if it wasn't kids, it probably is our duty to stand against ethnic cleansing and genocide enacted on adults as well.
New phone, who dis?
So, what I would say is stand against settler colonialism and ethnic cleansing and genocide. Stand with the oppressed across the world. Stand with Palestine.
Guys, stop saying he's Irish. He's Scottish, right?
And be cool.
You should see some of the shit
like
Netanyahu BB's son posts on Instagram. Insane.
He's Scottish. He's not Irish. He's Scottish. Aye. But
Israel is disgraceful, has showed the world what the Israeli state represents and is all about.
To be honest, like the Scotsman and the Irishman have come out in large numbers for this. Like I mean, especially the Irish have historically been, maybe not in the inception as some chatters will point out because they're fucking annoying history nerds, but they've historically been favorable to the Palestinian cause and have spoken out against it. They have personal experience with a colonizing force that oppresses them in their own streets, especially the Irish. So, you know, that's definitely something that the Irish have historically been pretty fucking woke on.
73 years ago, Mr. Speaker, the weekend past, the Nakba was commemorated by Palestinians. They refer to it as the catastrophe. It was the founding of the Israeli state. This is a state that was built on settler colonialism, a state that was built on ethnic cleansing, a state that was built on forced displacement and violence, to name but a few of its issues. And now it is practicing apartheid. Israel is an apartheid state. It's not just a bad state or a state doing bad things. It's an apartheid state. That's not just a view of this MLA or my party. Desmond Tutu, Human Rights Watch, B'Tselem, and many, many, many more organisations have declared that. There's been an attempt by some opposite today, the mainstream media, and many, many more to two sides this debate. Let's be clear, this isn't
there's no two sides to this
equal battle. Homemade rockets are no match for F-16 jet fighters. Israelis can go seek shelter, but Palestinians have absolutely nowhere to hide. Israeli settlers have the best infrastructure in the region. They have a nuclear state as well. Palestinians are subjected to absolute poverty, misery as a result of what Israel is doing. And Mr. Speaker, I think it is quite shameful as well that the member for North Belfast tries to insinuate, as he has done before, that Palestinian protests in Belfast have led to an increase in anti-Semitic attacks. It's deplorable, it's inaccurate, and it's very, very dangerous, and he's no evidence of it whatsoever. People across the world, Muslim, Jewish people, Christian people, secular people, and many, many, many others are standing against Israel because it is an occupier, it's an aggressor, and it's an apartheid state. And that's why so many are angry, because of what Israel is doing. And to the members opposite who have...
Shocked to find out that someone from Belfast had a take.
Express some full concern about Hamas and its road towards the oppression of Palestinians. Open your eyes. Look at the slaughter being carried out by Israel. Look at the occupation. Look at the checkpoints. Open your eyes.
To the unionists, I have to say, why don't you unionize with some bitches?
So I say solidarity to the Palestinians. In our
How about you unite with some bitches?
Thousands, in our millions, we're all Palestinians. And
How about you stay?
Intifada.
How about you stay loyal, not to the Queen, but instead to some bitches?
Israeli ambassador from Ireland.
Sorry. Listen, dude. If I'm gonna show some, Irish motherfuckers on here, I have to do it. Dude, you loved your accent on the video you made about the Cousin app in Iceland. Oh, the Cousin. I have to do it, dude. I have to do it. You guys are literally, maybe don't. You guys are literally oppressing me, okay? You are straight up oppressing me if you do not let me fucking do an Irish accent. You are colonizing my space. Kind of racist, but it's cool. Shut the fuck up. My man said kind of racist, dude. Yeah, listen, I will not stand for patophobia. I will do Irish accents. I mean Australian accents, sorry, all day, every day, okay? He wasn't Scottish, chat. Yeah, good luck getting Americans to recognize the intricacies or the differences between Scottish and Irish dialect. Except there's also like, even within Ireland, different regions have incredibly different dialects, some of which does unironically sound a bit Scottish. Okay, so POC people of Clover. Are you going to get a haircut soon, or are we going to keep pretending it's not distractingly bad? I want to grow my fucking hair. I want to grow my fucking hair. All right? You've got a problem with that. Then you take it up with your mother. I could potentially do a man bun right now. I tried it last night. I can do a man bun. It's long enough for a man bun. It's absolute dog shit, though. Look at that. I'm looking like a samurai. Suppressing your right to speak an Irish Scottish accent is pat erasure.
At least the accents are okay.
Woo! Okay. Let's see what Dan Bongino and Geraldo had to say. Geraldo's like, I'm a fucking Zionist, but this is unacceptable. And Fox News is doing that thing where they're just like, no, you're crazy. You have to say you're a Zionist, and then you also have to say Palestinian babies deserved it. Like, I like that the Fox News coverage of Israel-Palestine has to literally revolve around like, no, you have to justify the murdering of babies. Like, there's no other way. If you don't do that, then you're a fucking piece of shit. Yes, the Israeli cabinet approved the ceasefire. I know. We are talking about that. We're getting to it in a second.
And outrageous to me that in all the discussions of what's happening in Israel, the fact that Palestinians are being killed at the rate of 15 or 20 times the death toll among the Israelis, including children, is absolutely...
Geraldo?
65 kids have been murdered by the Israeli occupation. 65. 12 people have been killed within Israeli borders, okay? 12 people. 65 fucking kids. This is not war. This is a massacre. And that is just in the last 11 days. This is just this iteration of Israel's violent retaliation and violent actions against the Palestinians over which they have sovereignty over. Bibi has officially announced the ceasefire. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office has announced the ceasefire in the Gaza operation. Let's see where this goes. Okay,
let me stop you.
It is abhorrent to me. The Palestinians are digging themselves out from under the collapse of their buildings.
How about the terrorist organization Hamas stop firing those rockets from hospitals and schools and densely populated areas? Because they're the ones that fired first. If American City got hurt, it would be all America, all hands on deck. And if innocent people die...
I mean, that's not exactly a good defense. We are like the world's most bloodthirsty freak genociders, okay? Like, just because we operate like fucking Nazis do doesn't mean that, like, that's a metric that we should apply to every instance. Oh, dude, we would fucking literally murder every baby in the region if, like, an American city was harmed. Is not necessarily... is not necessarily an argument that you can make about what the morally right thing to do or the morally correct action to take is in this circumstance. I'm just saying, like, you're only self-reporting that you would literally do more war crimes than what Israel is currently engaging in. And that's psychopathic. Like, that is just, you're a fucking sick freak. You are disgusting to me. I don't know. When you say shit like this, you are a disgusting person. What would you do if it was your fucking city that was being bombed? It's like, well, I don't know. I would probably not want to fucking occupy a territory and, displace people and engage in ethnic displacement and then create bombing campaigns.
Let's go, boys.
What is this? Seems kind of... Oh, the Israel Security Cabinet approves Gaza ceasefire. Hamas officials have also expressed support for a potential ceasefire after 11 days of fighting, but it's unclear what the terms of the deal will be or when it will go into effect. Israel refuses to discuss any agreement that would link the Gaza conflict to Jerusalem. Sources familiar with the talks tell Axios. Oh, yeah, no, it just happened randomly, I guess. Anyway, let's
you blame the people that started the war.
There are dozens of Palestinian children dead. There are dozens of Palestinian children dead.
65, motherfucker. Not even dozens, okay? Whose fault is that? Whose fault is that, dude? It's the children's. They should have not been in the region. They should have just stepped away from the rocket fire. I can't believe this, dude. When Geraldo Riviera is the fucking mustachioed dipshit making the best arguments on the panel, throw the entire channel away. Throw the entire network away, dude. Don't just throw the show away. Just put the fucking network in the trash where it belongs. Oh my God, dude. Like, this guy is the sane one on the panel. Like that's so bad. Like, I've been saying this for a couple weeks now. I mean, since the fucking bombing campaign started, since this iteration of the genocide got to the point it was at, where it's like, it feels like Republicans are not happy with Democrats and the way that they have literally stopped ceasefire agreements from occurring only to give Israel more time to keep murdering fucking babies within Gazan walls, okay, that they have locked these babies into. They locked these fucking children into. Like straight up, and then secured a massive weapons deal to the tune of nearly $1 billion. And Republicans are still like, nah, fam, it's not enough. Like, what do you want, Sean Hannity? Sean Hannity's like, unless you're literally fucking choking a Palestinian child with your bare hands, don't talk to me about how much you love Israel. Like, it's fucking nuts. Shut the fuck up, dude.
Is that?
Whose fault is that? Ammunition provided to Israel by the United States without even a demand for a ceasefire. I demand a ceasefire. I demand that
Israel win the war. Israel needs to win the war against terrorism.
By what? Killing
and terrorists that are firing rockets at their people. Dan Bongino.
Let's kill all these children.
Dan.
Geraldo, you do this every time. This is such garbage, and I'm really getting sick of it. You play this emotional game with the audience and use your position of responsibility to put out misinformation and BS. You did it on the police thing.
Address the issue. Do you have the guts to address the issue and not address?
Whenever people say you're making an emotional argument, first of all, literally, you think it's not an emotional argument to be like, actually, Israel needs to fucking end these bloodthirsty Palestinians who all want to fucking ethnically cleanse Israel or whatever the fuck. That's an emotional argument, okay? Straight up. It's not a logical argument. But whenever these reactionaries say you're making an emotional argument, what they're saying is like, can you please, for a brief moment, shut off that part of your brain that you're supposed to have if you are like, if you have a fully functioning synapses and your brain is like a normal human being brain and not a fucking sociopath. Can you please shut that part off that values human life for a second so I can try to make an argument about why ethnic cleansing is justifiable? That's all this conversation is, okay? I don't like the argument that you're making because it's actually hurting my position here because it's making it really hard to defend ethnic cleansing. So please stop making it hard for me to defend ethnic cleansing. Let's not even talk about the actual fucking human toll. Let's not talk about the casualties. Let's not talk about the fucking kids that are being murdered. Let's not talk about the infrastructure that is reduced to rubble all around Gaza, ruining people's lives. Let's not talk about the fact that 75% of Gazans are fucking unemployed, no future whatsoever. Families are being brutally murdered by the occupying, bloodthirsty Israeli regime with no end in sight. Let's just simply say, Israel good, Palestine bad. That's crazy. It's psychotic.
This is not about me. You didn't come on this show to attack me.
Yourself.
You came on the show to talk about the issue.
Because again,
do you have a point about the issue?
Using your position of authority.
I'm sick of you, Bongino. I'm sick of you.
That are absolutely outrageous.
Call him a bitch, dude. He's a punk bitch. Blockhead motherfucker, Roblox looking ass, Minecraft looking ass, leak your fucking steroid regime looking ass bitch. Calling him a punk is not.
Geraldo,
you're
let him talk.
Uncontrolled lunatic.
Geraldo,
I'm sorry,
let him talk.
Because you can't go on the air.
I'm an out of control
lunatic. Can you calm down? Yeah, you really need to calm down.
Fucking. Listen, it's hard not to lose frame against literally fucking Minecraft Andy over here. It's just, oh, Jesus Christ.
It is shocking and outrageous to me.
Palestinian children. You know the way we...
If your point's going to be about me, I'm not...
Yeah, you really need to calm down.
I'm a 10-time Emmy winner.
Maybe try a
Dude, this is a trigger warning, by the way. Ted Cruz's ugly ass face might show up. It's in the bottom here, but I don't know if they show Ted Cruz in this segment. So I'm just issuing a trigger warning ahead of time.
Experience in the Middle East.
Right,
have you ever even been there?
I want to make my point, Sean.
I've covered every war since 1973.
I want to make my point when he stops talking.
Geraldo,
when he stops talking, I do have a point.
If your point is about me, I'm not going to stop. If your point's going to be about me, I'm not going to stop.
Geraldo Rivera does not understand that Hamas doesn't believe in Israel's right to exist. Hamas wants the Jews dead. And what does he do? The same thing with the police.
Oh my God, this is insanity. Like, this is just like, oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Hamas doesn't believe in Israel's right to exist. Oh, that's interesting. Does fucking Israel believe in Palestinians' right to exist? Because it sure doesn't fucking seem like it. And Hamas is baby shit in comparison to a nuclear power that is using white phosphorus on civilians and purposely destroying the infrastructure, leaving the Palestinians no way to actually rebuild, okay? You are a fucking blockheaded baby. If you make this goddamn comparison between a militant arm of what remains as the administrative forces in the world's largest open-air prison, okay? If you make that comparison to a nuclear power,
I love American news hassle,
that has the world's largest military's backing through and through, you are literally a fucking psychopath. I know a ceasefire is coming. I know.
Issue. He makes this an emotional thing, and he says the Palestinian children. Of course we care about Palestinian children. You know the way we save Palestinian children is we incentivize the terror group Hamas to not fire rockets indiscriminately into Israel. And
what about fucking discriminately firing rockets into Gaza?
But hey,
on purpose.
6 months.
Oh God, I'm done talking about this. We just have the same conversations over and over again every single fucking day.
Would stop and
like saying Hamas fires rockets indiscriminately into Israel, which is why we like literally and purposely and deliberately are defending rockets being fired on significant points of infrastructure that like are necessary for everyday existence of Palestinians in the Gaza Strip, is not exactly the argument that you think is going to save you, okay? It's fucking terrible. Like, that's a terrible argument.
Immediately, your debate on, you are so misinformed on.
If you want to stop Hamas, then fucking stop bombing innocent Palestinians and murdering innocent Palestinians, and then telling everybody that they're just meat shields, because that's pretty good for Hamas, dude. It legitimizes them. It legitimizes their existence. It legitimizes their cause. Okay, in the eyes of the Palestinian people, it literally turns it into a justifiable standing military that is violently trying to suppress an occupying force. Why the fuck would the Palestinians not side with Hamas in that respect if they're constantly being fucking shelled nonstop? What a great take. Expecting a terrorist to stop attacking you because you are indiscriminately killing civilians? Yeah, let's appeal to the humanity of the one you yourself consider a terrorist. I mean, I consider the IDF to be a terrorist. I consider the IDF to be a terror group, a very successful terror group. And yet I still believe that like they have the capability of fucking doing a ceasefire. So yeah, like if you think Hamas is a terror group because they're firing and trying to kill random civilians, which they literally are. There's no two ways about it. We can have a conversation about whether that's justifiable self-defense, an armed act of self-defense from a group of oppressed people that are being occupied. If you want to make a comparison, it's like a fucking it's like in the pre-abolition era, in the pre-Civil War era, it's like African slaves trying to free themselves by murdering their fucking slave owners. Then yeah, you can make that argument if you want. We can have a conversation about the justifications for it. But ultimately, if you think that like Hamas is a terror cell, and I agree, because they are indiscriminately trying to kill as many Israelis as they can, even though they are too weak to do so because they don't have any fucking rockets. All their rockets are made in goddamn bathtubs. Then the IDF are very good at doing terrorism. Okay? They're like, the IDF is significantly better at terrorism. I mean, think about it. Like, we think about Al-Qaeda, right? We look to Al-Qaeda and the egregious, horrific act of terror that they committed on 9/11, right? Hitting the World Trade Center, Pentagon building, all this stuff. I mean, that's like literally a Sunday in the Gaza Strip. Okay? It's a Sunday in the Gaza Strip with F-16s like bombing the living fuck out of every important infrastructure building that these people have. Like, all the time. Literally nonstop. Nah, man, blame Iran for 9/11? I don't know where to begin with this conversation because, like, Iran's enemies in the region did 9/11. So like, if you're saying, nah, man, blame Iran for 9/11, you're so delusional that there is no way to have a conversation with you. Iran was confused when they were even mentioned in the axis of evil, and Iran has literally been an ally to the United States in the United States' ongoing efforts to cleanse the region of, I guess, Sunni militant groups, Sunni terror cells like ISIS. Pretty sure he's joking. I don't know. That was his first thing that fucking idiot said. So.
It's pathetic. It's a bloodthirsty, savage.
Let me calm the waters here. Let me calm the waters here. Geraldo, who started this war? Who started firing the rockets? And who's firing them?
Where do you want to go? You want to go back to 1948, 1967, 1973?
You want to go back to the 48 peace partition, the 67-73 war? And yes, I've been to Israel. I've been to you know what? I've been to the border with Gaza.
I've covered every war since 1973 until 2012.
Kids
I was there when they put the Iron Dome missile system
in an outdoor playground because they.
Yeah, well, except like, again, everything you say about the plight of Israeli children, which is true, okay? War has casualties. War does create PTSD within kids. I understand that. Absolutely. But like, if you have feelings, if you feel some type of way towards the struggles that like Israeli citizens are being subjected to, then you should be losing your fucking mind every day at the thought of how much cruelty Palestinian kids are subjected to. Like, I don't know how you can't see this. I really don't know how you can't. I don't understand how it's like impossible for you to know to recognize this, unless you just don't believe that Palestinians are human beings, which these guys don't.
They can't get in a bunker. They play in indoor bunker playgrounds. I've seen the rockets, 10,000 in one city in 10 years.
A Palestinian
Here's my
life
question,
is exactly equal to an Israeli life or an American life.
Who do you blame for fighting?
That's anti-Semitic. Like what Geraldo Rivera is saying would get most motherfuckers canceled like 5 to 10 years ago. I swear to God, dude. It's crazy that he's just like straight up saying it. That like a Palestinian life is equal to an Israeli life. That's wild. That is actually a fucking wild take to have on Fox fucking News of all places. Straight up. Especially because it's an indefensible position. Like the counter to that is indefensible. What are you going to say? No, it's not. That's going to make you look really bad if you say, no, that's not true. Actually, an Israeli life is worth more.
Firing the rockets first. Who do you blame for firing it from densely populated areas?
Which is precisely why Sean Hannity just conveniently ignored that point. Notice how Sean Hannity did not address that at all and completely moved on and is like still like, who fired first? Who fired first? Who fired first? Who fired first? Who fired the rockets first? I don't know. Who fucking attacked Al-Aqsa first? Doesn't seem like it was Palestinians attacking their own mosque. It was the IDF.
It's been a wild ride, brother. Has Chud. Thanks for the good time.
And hospitals and schools.
This current chapter of this ongoing violence started when Israeli cops raided the Aqsa Mosque in the old city of Jerusalem.
Get out of here!
It is one of the most sacred.
Just lying.
It is one of the most sacred.
You're just lying? How is that a lie, dude? Why is this news, man? Yo, I don't know how to. I don't know how to deal with this. Like, you're just like he's just lying and saying you're lying when Geraldo is completely correct.
You don't know what you're talking about.
It is one of the most sacred places in the. Listen to this guy. This guy doesn't. Have you ever been? Have you been at war?
I've been there many times.
Have you?
I'm showing video of me there.
No, but you haven't either. That's the interesting thing.
I have been there multiple times. That tunnel.
Why is this a conversation? Like, what the fuck do these tunnels have to do with anything, bro?
right there. That was built with Israeli and American money and cement, and that cement was meant for hospitals and schools, guys. That cement right there. 60 feet underground tunnels so that these terrorists can sneak in the dark of the night and kill Israelis and commit acts of terror.
Why don't you ever show the dead Palestinian children? Why don't you ever show the video of the dead Palestinians?
Because if I ever step foot in Gaza, I'd be dead.
They don't count.
Yeah. The Israelis would mistake your Fred Flintstone ass for a Gazan terrorist or some shit and then blow you up. Yes. If you ever step foot inside of Gaza, you would literally be dead. Why? Because motherfuckers get murdered all the time in Gaza by Israeli forces. So yes, you are right. Sean Hannity is, in a brief moment here, correct. A brief moment of truth, and a grain of honesty in Sean Hannity's takes. If I step foot in Gaza, I'd be dead. It's very difficult to survive there. Perhaps that has something to do with tunnels that they're building, because there's constantly fucking rocket fire. Again, let me just say something. Okay? If your house is on fire, you're not going to have a lot of time to be like, maybe I should buy a new dishwasher. Okay? That's the situation in Gaza. If you're constantly under occupation, if you're constantly being fucking shelled, if you're constantly subjected to bombing campaigns, whenever you want to demonstrate peacefully at the fucking border or at the fence that separates you from Israel, you literally get sniped. When that shit happens, yeah, you're probably not going to fucking focus on building a school just so they can blow it up again.
It's
like they don't exist.
You don't even understand the
Palestinian
history
children
here.
are being killed and they don't exist. Demand a ceasefire.
You don't even
I
understand your own history. Geraldo, who controlled that Palestinian area from 48 to 67?
Ceasefire.
The
no
Jordanians.
American weapons used to kill children. Stop it.
So they can kill more Jews?
I demand a
Are you
ceasefire.
nuts?
Oh my God, dude.
All right.
No.
Like, Dan Bongino, straight up, like, we can't do a ceasefire. They're going to kill more Jews during this.
Right, so they can rearm and kill more Jews.
Like, with what, dude? What a psycho. What a fucking psycho, dude. Here, let's just run this back, dude, just to give us a little break from everything. Okay, so
Poggies.
we showed the psychos. There's a ceasefire that is ongoing. That's really good news. I mean, we're not even close to fucking actual justice for the Palestinians, like nowhere near, but it's a good first step, I guess, to just like stop the fucking bombing campaign that has already killed more than 65 Palestinian children, more than 230 Palestinians in general, over the course of the past 11 days. So
this is what Republican Senator Ron Johnson of Wisconsin.
Okay, so we are going to cover, there's more coverage to be had on this issue, obviously. I am going to do it, but before I continue with my coverage, I am going to hit you with a Here Malding episode 3 is out. It's called Hetero Gay Married, by the way.
9 months. Thank you for all you do to inform us, hassle.
But I'm going to hit you with a 60-second ad break, boys. It's top of the hour, every hour. It's time for a 60-second ad break. If you don't want to watch the ads, if you don't want to see the ads, all you need to do is subscribe. You can do it for $5, or you can do it for free with a Twitch Prime. Here's the 60-second ad break now. Is Trump still the future of the GOP? There's some.
This is Vice News tonight.
It's 42 minutes long, man. I can't do that. That's way too long. Terrorists target civilians like Hamas. Israel do not. Hamas and Palestine equals targeting civilians. Israel equals warning civilian population of opposing. Hamas did warn Israel before bombing Israel. So I guess you're wrong on that end too. Like the first round of rocket fire coming from Hamas came before they said, pull your troops out of Al-Aqsa and allow the Muslim mosque goers freedom of travel. So technically, you're wrong. I mean, you're literally wrong. Then Hamas is the same as IDF with respect to that. But this is not about equality. You don't care. You don't want to have a fucking conversation on equal terms. So why do you even come in here and act like you do? It's so strange to me. Like, either you just don't have the full information, or you just don't care. You probably don't care. But even if your argument is like what is the narrative here? Is it okay because Israel warns ahead of time that they're going to bomb your house? Would you be fine with that if they bombed your house?
Donate $1,000.
Like if a superior military power that has rendered your freedom of travel, that is completely shut off your opportunities to travel anywhere else, that has locked you into this like open air prison, says, I'm gonna bomb your house, but I'm letting you know, would you be like, thank you, please sir, I want some more? Are you that much of a fucking cuck? I don't understand. And if pre-warnings are good enough, then why didn't Israel listen to the demands that Hamas made ahead of time? Why didn't they? Oh yeah, I want to do the UFO fucking piece in a second. I've been holding off on this. That's big from you opening up your opinion about the Palestine-Israel conflict. Not many people dare to talk about it in front of an audience this big. No, motherfucker, I've been talking about it for years too.
Middle East, Israel and Hamas exchanged new attacks this morning. The White House is pushing for an end to more than a week of...
So, like, was it okay when Israel bombed not one but two refugee camps? Israel bombed another refugee camp last night. Is Hamas there? Like, how are you gonna fucking act like that's a reasonable thing to do? Like, they're bombing refugee camps, dude. They're bombing hospitals. They murdered fucking little kids who had PTSD and were getting treatment for their fucking PTSD from previous bombing campaigns. It's nuts.
Looking good today,
defending Israel in any capacity, especially through this latest round, when like most liberal, progressive except for Palestine Zionists are even shutting the fuck up, or at the very least trying to make weak attempts to all lives matter the situation by being like, well, anti-Semitism is on the rise, which is true, but that is completely separate from what the fuck's going on here. It's just like, it's wild. Like, you literally don't have to do that. I promise. You don't have to do it.
Deadly fighting. President Biden told Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu yesterday he expects a significant de-escalation. Imtiaz Tayyib is in southern Israel, just north of Gaza. Imtiaz, good morning.
Vlad, everyone, good morning. Yeah, I'm only just a few miles away from the Gaza Strip. You can see the road here is blocked. Israeli security forces not letting us in because of Hamas rocket fire. All of this comes, of course, as the Israeli media breathlessly speculates that a ceasefire could start as early as tomorrow. But for now, the bombings continue.
I'll tell you what, as an Israeli, if you defend Palestinians, you're considered a traitor. Yeah, it's like fucking defending the lives of Iraqi and Afghan citizens really helps my mental health when America was like, nah, we're just going to fucking murder all of them. I understand. I know. I mean, I've been seen as like, when I used to come to America, especially closer to 9/11, like I know what it's like when you're just like automatically as a Muslim seen as a fucking enemy combatant. Like you're like infiltrating America from within. And there's plenty of Muslims in here that have also experienced that when they were fucking growing up. It doesn't happen in a fucking vacuum.
Israeli airstrikes have been lighting up Gaza's skyline for 11 days now, causing an inferno of destruction on the ground. The misery is unrelenting. Well, in the southern Israeli town of Beersheba, dozens of Israelis and our team had to run to this bomb shelter after several Hamas rockets were intercepted right above us. If a ceasefire is near, it doesn't feel like it. Since fighting began, more than 75,000 Palestinians have been displaced across Gaza, most seeking refuge at these UN schools. And it's kids who suffer the most. We talked to two 10-year-olds about what they're experiencing, one Israeli and one Palestinian. Nadine Abdeltaif has become the face of Gaza's children.
I'm only 10.
After going viral in this video posted online. CBS News met Nadine near her neighborhood, which is now in ruins.
I want to feel safe for like one day at least. I never feel safe in my own home.
What's it like in your house?
It's very scary.
Renana Botzer-Swizza lives in southern Israel, just a few miles away from Gaza. She gets scared every time Hamas rockets are fired near her home. She says she knows what she experiences is nothing compared to what Nadine does. And when we asked her what she'd say to her if they were to ever meet,
I wasn't saying nothing. I just hug her and tell her that I know what you feel.
Now, according to the United Nations children's charity UNICEF, 1 million Palestinian children, 1 million, face, quote, disaster if a ceasefire isn't called soon. Gail.
We're all hoping for that. Thank you very much. MTS Tayeb reporting from southern Israel.
For the past week, a 10-year-old girl living in Gaza has documented her experience on social media. Here's CNN's Awa Damon with her story.
His name is Jude. His name is Nana or Nadira.
It's the juxtaposition that is perhaps the most jarring. Between the clips Nadine, an aspiring social media influencer, used to post about her life, often featuring her younger brother Jude.
If I hear my sister?
And the clip that was posted of her that went viral.
If you want all of this, what do you expect me to do? Fix it? I'm only 10. I can't even do anything this morning. I just want to be a doctor or anything.
Can we watch more Sky News? That shit was hilarious yesterday. I'll die. Like, I don't want to fucking engage in an act of self-harm by watching more fucking Australian donkeys talk about Palestine in such violent fucking ways, dude. It is literally, I'm still thinking about it. That had like a secondary shockwave effect that when I think about fucking Sky News, I'm like, oh my God. It was so vile, dude. It was one of the most disgusting things I've watched. Like, this dude was just spewing filth, just bile.
Thank you for doing
Oh my
what you
fucking
Hasan 6
God,
months.
dude. What a fucking piece of shit that guy is. Whatever the fuck his name is. Oh God. He is such a donkey, dude. Holy shit.
4 months hassle.
What is, I made a meme about the Sky News reporter. It's pretty good. It's true. It's true, dude. Australians shudder. They cower in fear at the might of the average Turkish reporter. Okay? When the Australian Sky News reporter, when the conservative Australian Sky News reporter hears the might of the average Turkish reporter reporting on the fucking news, he looks for a place to hide. He looks for a place to run, cower in fear, and hide.
Good takes, Hasan.
To help my people, I can't. I'm just a kid.
She is just a kid. But at the same time, she's not anymore.
Are you having fun?
Bro, this is so insane, dude. They're like, Hey, let's get some fucking coverage of these kids in Gaza. Oh, never mind. There's fucking warplanes flying over. They're gonna bomb another area.
Because it was funny. I was laughing because I was trying to keep my brother calm down. I guess I love you. Me too.
We're back again here, and this is all the stuff we got for the school.
This is what they should have been getting ready for. Instead,
this is my bag in case anything happens, or our house gets exploded. I don't really care about any of those things are in the bag. As I said, I care about family. I care about other people, and that's it.
There's no shot that any Israeli that watches this, I'm sorry, I mean, with the exception of like obviously fucking anti-Zionists and leftists and stuff, but like there is very little chance that ultra-Zionists that see this aren't going to be like, oh, she has a TikTok, she's a paid actor, or use the term Pallywood. By the way, that's like, I've been browsing more like ultra Zionist places and spaces on the internet, like neoliberal subreddits, for example, that have turned into ultra Zionist shitholes, and they will use the term Pallyhood or Pallywood, sorry, like Palestinian Hollywood, to talk about these sorts of things where they're just like, oh, they're just fucking lying. Like, this is all just, like, this person is a liar. It's like, I don't know how you can lie about just fucking your house being blown up, but...
When the explosion happens, we all hang out in this room. It's better to die all of us together.
This is a consistent thing that you hear from Palestinians, where parents in the Gaza Strip will say, like, we all sleep in the same room so that if a bomb, like if rocket fire blows up our apartment, we all die together, because it's significantly worse if you end up surviving. Just remember that. That's the life that they live. Like, that is literally just their life. I'm surprised you rarely ever get this viewpoint. I'm surprised that like CNN and these other news outlets are actually showing this side. They trade kids so entire families and children aren't wiped out, and hopefully they're single survivors. If we said the aid to Israel is contingent on rebuilding this area, we'd be anti-Semitic. 100%. I mean, the Trump administration took away all aid from Palestine, boys. All aid. Like, all aid to the Gaza Strip was removed under the Trump administration. It got so bad. Meanwhile, you commented the other day on that hot IDF's personal TikTok was propaganda. Yeah, you can't be biased. Like, wait. Are you actually so blind that you think a 10-year-old girl's TikTok is Palestinian propaganda, but like actual IDF propaganda celebrating how vegan they are? Like, that's propaganda. When an organized unit, an organized coalition gets together and has marketing agents and PR agents that come together and like write out scripts and put out advertisements showing how humane they are, that's actual marketing. That's actual propaganda. A 10-year-old's TikTok account showcasing the atrocities that they have endured at the hands of the brutal occupiers in Israel. That's just reality. The IDF soldier was wearing her uniform and ballistic vest. Like, no, he meant that girl on TikTok. Yeah, that is propaganda, dude. It is 100%, 1000% propaganda. The IDF engages in that sort of propaganda all the time. Hot IDF girls, like, look at how sexy our fucking military is. Or look at how fucking vegan our military is. Or look at how fucking what is the other one? They do like, look how LGBT our military is. They do it all the goddamn time. Dude, I'm an IDF member. Well, they are vegan. Dude, I'm an IDF member. Dog, you know what that means? That you care about fucking animals more than you care about Palestinians, right? Just kidding. Oh, real funny, dude. Yeah, you should fucking leave, dude. You should literally leave the IDF if you're a part of it.
This is where is the explosion at. See right there? There's an ambulance. And I think that's a house. 5 أشهر هو الناجي الوحيد من الدار.
Of course, Nadine gets scared, her mother says. She covers her fear for her brother.
More potatoes for me. What's that, missile? This is like breakfast dinner.
Nadine's mother watches her family as if she's quietly relishing in the laughter of the younger generations.
Can't believe
For
it's already
laughter
been
is
7
more
months.
precious in times like this, when you know, even if you are just a kid, that it can end at any moment. Arwa Damon, CNN.
There are members of the Obama administration who fully acknowledge that this happened. Tommy Vietor, he tweeted out, yeah.
Oh my fucking God. Oh, what? That just snuck up on me, dude. I don't know if I can handle this. I'm gonna keep it real. I don't know if I can handle Ben Shabibo fucking defending bombing the Associated Press building. It's gonna kill me. I will fucking die. I will literally die. It's... Oh God, it's fucking, it's so gross. He's so gross, dude. He's so fucking gross. All right, let's watch
Probably
it.
Hamas was in the building, but still you shouldn't hit the building.
Joe Biden did make an official statement. Hamas defend good, Israel bad, war, building, you know, come on, man. I'm Bo Jiden and I approve this message. That's so funny, dude.
3 months, Pog.
Idiot.
Real. At a certain point, it is not about being pro-Palestinian. It is about just being anti the Jewish state. The media.
What? Fucking such a bloodthirsty, delusional freak, dude. Literal just psychopath, okay? Absolute psychopathic. Once again, I ask, what should defenders of the state of Israel in America do? Because most of them defend across the board. Unconditional, uncritical support to Israel. Joe Biden gave $735 million worth of weapons to Israel 2 days, or not even 24, not even 48 hours after the Associated Press building was bombed. What more? What more could they do, Ben? Joe Biden has personally been responsible for the death, evisceration, and murder of more Palestinians than you, motherfucker. He has a higher body count, bitch. Get your fucking numbers up, you fucking pathetic pussy. Okay? Joe Biden is literally murdered and is personally responsible for the murder of more Palestinian babies than you. And you're out here fucking still shitting on him? That's crazy to me. That actually blows my mind that Ben is out here with this take, saying like the Democrats are not doing enough. The media is not doing enough. What do you want them to do?
Yeah, continue to be garbage at their jobs. Right before the Jewish holiday of Shavuot, which is why I was off for the past couple of days, Israel knocked out this building in Gaza, which was being used by Hamas. Just clearly being used by Hamas. Okay, and the Associated...
Clearly, Israel has given no evidence and has lied about the evidence that they have given to the American authorities. Anthony Blinken literally said Israel's given us no evidence, and then they lied about giving us evidence about how there was Hamas in this building. Regardless, whether or not Hamas intelligence assets are within that building, which was occupied by media companies for 15 years. 15 years, I guess they were side by side with Hamas, and they just had no fucking clue. Okay? I'm going to take the words of Tommy Vietor, who has nothing to do with this situation whatsoever, who made such a fucking erroneous idiotic misstep that he immediately deleted the tweet. But that deleted tweet is more significant for Ben Shabibo than any amount of coverage that can come from the rest of the media. Why? Because it was a moment where Tommy Vitor seemingly agreed with his psychopathic, bloodthirsty agenda. God damn it, dude. Holy shit.
The Press had offices there. Now, the reason that Hamas locates in buildings with the Associated Press there is specifically because they wish to use the Associated Press as a shield. This is why. Because then Israel hits an empty building. Okay, there was no one in there.
It doesn't change anything. If someone was like, hey, Ben, we are going to bomb your fucking house in Nashville, Tennessee, but we're going to warn you ahead of time, Ben would not be fucking, Ben would not accept that. Like, and understandably, he would not accept that. Because that would be psychotic. Like, that's insane, dude. No one accepts this. No normal human being would be like, oh, thank God they're warning me. The only thing that you're saying in that situation is that, like, they could just do genocide without warning them.
The empty building. And then the Associated Press starts whining to the world about how terrible it is that Israel would knock down a building. How awful that Israel would do this sort of thing, except that Israel had apparently showed smoke.
This motherfucker literally lost his mind about BLM protests because some of those BLM protests ended up turning into or escalated in large part due to the police retaliation into more violent struggles that broke storefronts. Okay. Like a Starbucks window breaks in any area that has like more than 13% black people, and Ben will literally be on it, covering it round the clock. Like, look at how violent these blacks are. All BLM protests are about violence and you know, taking down businesses. But Israel just, you know, blows up a building. It's not a big deal, dude. It's just a fucking not a big deal. Like, what? It's just a building, dog. Like, I don't understand. Like, why are you making a big deal out of it? Because he's a fucking donkey. Okay?
Smoking gun material, classified material, to the U.S. government, explaining that Hamas was in the building. Okay, which is not a shock because Hamas and the Associated Press have a covert deal. That deal is...
In 2019, HasanAbi says to Slicker and Raj Royale that he has to stop talking about the problem between Gaza and Israel. 2 years later, HasanAbi have talking about the problem in many streams, LMAO. Yeah, I think you're greatly mistaking the way that he was talking about it. And me covering for him in that respect was the smart thing to do for him. Okay? In 2019, I was still covering Israel and Palestine, you fucking idiot. In 2017, I was. In 2018, I was. In 2016, I was as well.
That Associated Press gets to stay in Hamasistan so long
Hold on, I just like, wait.
Okay, which is not a shock because Hamas and the Associated Press have a covert deal. That deal is that Associated Press gets to stay in Hamasistan.
What? Dude. This is no different than just like conspiracy, like QAnon conspiracy theories. Like
6 months with the himbo
he's just
himself.
like fucking making this shit up. Like he's just saying that like, you know, big Hamas and big Associated Press are just like working with one another. Zero evidence, Andy, by the way.
So long as it prints Hamas propaganda and does not print stuff that it knows about how Hamas uses civilians as human shields. David Harsani has a good piece over.
What the fuck? Dude, this is psychopathic, dude. Would you approve of Israel if you saw evidence? Fuck no. I don't give a fuck if literal Hamas military members are in that building. I don't give a fuck, dude. Are you fucking stupid? No. I don't even give a fuck if Hamas were like, we are in this building specifically because there is media here. No. You absolutely cannot blow up a fucking media building, dude. So you are saying you are biased? Yes, motherfucker. I am biased towards humanity. I am biased towards all fucking human beings and their well-being. I am biased in the sense that I believe that subjecting 2 million plus civilians into living a horrifying existence, okay, in the world's largest open-air prison that you routinely bomb, that you control the water supply of, where 97% of the people living there do not have access to clean water. and you control their electricity, and then you keep bombing their fucking infrastructure over and over again, that's bad. And if you aren't biased in that respect, if you aren't biased towards the humanity of Palestinians, you are a fucking monster. Okay? So I am not fearful of saying that I am biased towards humanity in this situation. I am biased towards a humane existence, offering a egalitarian, or not even egalitarian, offering a humane existence for Palestinians living in Gaza, Palestinians living all around the world, and Palestinians living in the occupied West Bank. So if you don't have those biases, you are a fucking piece of shit. You are no different than a Nazi, okay? Seriously. I'm sorry that I am doing propaganda that revolves around acknowledging the humanity of Palestinians. I apologize.
A national review about this. According to AP CEO Gary Pruitt, he said his organization had no indication Hamas was in the building or active in the building. He said, "This is something we actively check to the best of our ability. We would never knowingly put our journalists at risk."
Here, this is a great way to undermine the argument from the Associated Press by just reading it in a baby voice.
"This is nonsense," says Harsani. "Pruitt knowingly puts journalists at risk every day he sends them to places like Gaza." But how did Pruitt actively check? Did he ask Hamas? Did he call the landlord?
What the fuck?
Or did you ring the bells?
Did you call the CEO of Hamas, bro? No, exactly. So every Palestinian technically is Hamas, and therefore there was Hamas there. I know. From Nashville, Tennessee, hypothetically, I know better than the fucking Associated Press that was in the building.
It is, of course, highly probable that Hamas was using journalists as human shields, because this is what it does. During the last major outbreak of violence in 2014, Gaza's Shifa hospital became a de facto headquarters for Hamas leaders, who could be seen in the hallways and offices, according to the Washington Post. The AP did not report that. Why? Because they were...
Yo, dude, what? Yeah, Hamas is literally in here right now. Hamas is in my house. IDF should blow it up. Like, give me forewarning ahead of time. But like, they can do it. They can do it. Who knows? No one has to. You literally don't need any fucking proof. Ben will believe it regardless.
They were working hand in glove with Hamas. In 2014, former AP reporter Maddie Friedman recounted, quote, "The AP staff in Gaza City would witness a rocket launch right beside their office, endangering reporters and other civilians nearby, and AP would not report it. Not even in AP articles about Israeli claims that Hamas was launching rockets from residential areas."
Dude, what the fuck? Dude, I can't do this. I can't do this. It's just so insane. He's literally making shit up. He's making shit up. The Associated Press has still, as a part of the Western media apparatus, consistently sided with Israel using passive voice all the fucking time when talking about Palestinian casualties as though they perished on their own, and then talking about Israeli civilians being murdered, being killed, okay? Like, these guys have no interest in adequately offering coverage to the plight of Palestinians living in Gaza. And they don't. For the most part, they don't. Saying that the Western media absolutely fucking takes Hamas propaganda hook, line, and sinker and does propaganda for them is psychotic. The most that they'll do in certain instances where there is incredible violence that is unavoidable, that like every normal human being that is not blinded by propaganda of this sort will see, they end up covering it not even adequately in that situation, but they'll report the casualties. Like, you know what I mean? And these motherfuckers still get mad. Like, Ben literally gets mad when like, I guess he wants the Associated Press to be like, I guess he wants them to lie and just be like, yeah, they blew up our building, and it was actually good that they blew up our building because, there wasn't any evidence that the Hamas soldiers were in there, but let's just say that there was. I mean, what if there was? There could have been.
Areas. This happened. Hamas fighters would burst into the AP's Gaza bureau and threaten the staff, and AP would not report it. This also happened. Cameramen waiting outside Shifa Hospital in Gaza would film the arrival of civilian casualties and then, at a signal from an official, turn off their cameras when wounded and dead fighters came in, helping Hamas maintain the illusion that only civilians were dying. This too happened. The information comes from multiple sources with firsthand knowledge of these incidents. Now, what's incredible about this is that there are members of the Obama administration.
Source, trust me, bro. Trust me, bro. Okay? I know it happened, hypothetically. Sources, trust me, bro. Just trust me. Just come on, dude. First-hand sources,
fully
dude.
acknowledge that this happened. Okay.
Where's he getting this information from if no one is reporting it? Probably, like, Reddit threads. It's just someone who's like, I'm IDF, bro. Believe, bro. Believe. I'm IDF, bro. I see this firsthand, bro. Come on. Come on, bro. Just report, bro. Fucking 4chan. First-hand sources.
There are members of
anonymous account on 4chan that claims to be a fucking IDF person. It's QAnon, dude. This is literally QAnon shit.
Administration who fully acknowledged this was probably being used as a Hamas headquarters. Okay, Tommy Vietor, who worked for Barack Obama. He didn't just drive his van. He was one of his advisors. He tweeted out, yeah, probably Hamas was in the building, but still you shouldn't hit the building. Unreal.
By the way, even if Hamas is in the building, and I'm saying it with my chest one more time, yes, you literally should not attack a building that is a media building just because Hamas is slated to be within the building. Sorry. It's still a fucking war crime, okay? I mean, here. Let me flip the script here. IDF is all over Israel. They're all over Israel. A lot of Israeli citizens, as a consequence of like being forced into military service, are either currently in the national reserves or a part of the IDF or were a part of the IDF. Okay? Having said that, if Hamas somehow infiltrated the Israeli boundaries and blew up, and they don't even have the fucking capability of doing this, but in a hypothetical scenario, if some motherfuckers in Hamas blew up the entire media building, and then claimed like, sorry, there's Israelis, there's IDF in there, how do you think Israel would react? I mean, Hamas lobs bullshit bathtub rockets that are basically like fireworks on fucking steroids into Israeli territory. Those rockets get intercepted by the Iron Dome, and then they fucking respond by murdering 65 babies, okay? 65 children in a span of 11 days. 65 children alone. 230 plus Palestinians have died so far. How do you think they would retaliate? Absolutely zero people would consider this to be just or honest or reasonable.
Because at a certain point, it is not about being pro-Palestinian, because if you're pro-Palestinian, you should not be pro-Hamas. It is about just being anti the Jewish state. And you can sense why, okay? Because there's a broader left-wing agenda out there. Unfortunately, it's what people have termed accurately the Red-Green Alliance, and basically green being Hamas, red being communists. There's this long-time feeling on the left that Israel is a colonial state, that Israel is an outpost of Western civilization. And so many of the people who are angry at Western civilization are angry at Israel. They're not angry at Israel, and therefore they're angry at America. They're angry at America, and therefore they're angry at Israel. Or they're angry at Europe, and therefore they're angry at Israel. So Europe, because Europe has always had issues with Jews, has attempted to separate off, except for a couple of countries right now, like Hungary and Austria. Okay, but the reality is that the left, all over the Western world.
Yeah. Based Viktor Orban supporting Jew. Very cool. Yeah.
Has decided that Israel is the bad guy. Why? Because Israel is part of this broader rubric of hierarchical values. The way the left views the world is that if you are successful in a civilized system, it is because you have victimized someone. This is the view in the United States. In the United States, from the left, the view is that if you are successful in the United States, it's because you have white privilege, or because the system was built to accommodate you, or because you have internalized your own whiteness. And the same thing happens internationally. If there is a group that is successful, and you can castigate them as white, Jews suddenly became white for this purpose, and you can castigate them as white versus the quote-unquote brown Palestinians, which is the way that Rashida Tlaib talks about this, then that is just another indicator of hierarchical systems that have to be torn down, which is why you've heard.
Yeah, like Ben, for example, is not a white person. I mean, you can tell. Ben is a brown person. Motherfucker, I'm white. Okay? I'm Muslim. My name is Hasan. I grew up in Turkey, and I'm white. I say I'm white all the time. What happened? Like, Ben was talking about white culture and Western civilization and how fucking dope it is. And all of a sudden, when it comes to like defending Israel's war crimes, he's like, it's kind of fucked up. Unacceptable. Like, literally, there is white supremacy baked into the Zionist project separately from everything else. where the treatment of Ethiopian Jews and African migrants within the boundaries of Israel is literally disgusting. Okay? Straight up. Like, shit that American racists and white supremacists would look to and go, God damn, that's good stuff. Okay? It's wild that, like, white supremacy does not factor into it. Even though I have talked about a million times on the show that you know that Israelis are not Israelis, Jews are not a monolith, that they come from many different ethnic backgrounds, Sephardic, Mizrahi, Ashkenazi. There's so many different types of Jewish people from all around the fucking world. So obviously there's like hella brown Jews as well. But the actions of Israel as a settler occupying colonialist state is
Beat the night
real
king,
fucking
fake
white,
socialist.
dude. Sorry. Israel, you're acting kind of white right now, dude. Just saying. And that's the kindest way to approach this matter from an honest framework, okay?
I've heard Rashida Tlaib explicitly say this. She'll say Black Lives Matter is the same thing as the Palestinians. They are not the same thing. For a variety of reasons, they are not the same thing. And for one, Black Lives Matter as a movement, last I checked, was not supposed to be firing rockets into American cities. I was told the Black Lives Matter movement was distinct from the rioters and looters. If she wants to make a different claim, that's on Rashida Tlaib.
What?
But it is not a surprise to see Black Lives Matter supporting Hamas. They came out and tweeted yesterday, Black Lives Matter stands in solidarity with Palestinians. We are a movement committed to ending settler colonialism in all forms and will continue to advocate for Palestinian liberation. Always have and always will be.
Like, how is this a racist take? Like, I just... Bro, if you consider this to be bad, you're a bad person. Like, I don't know how else to describe this to you. If you consider Palestinian liberation to be a negative thing, like, you're fucking a bad person. Like, I don't know how else to say it, dude.
Hashtag Free Palestine. By Free Palestine, they don't mean a separate state of Palestine living alongside in peace and harmony a Jewish state. They mean wiping out the state of Israel. This has been...
Like, that's a fucking psychopathic, dude. You are just a bad person, Ben. You are a bad person. And I really hope one day you recognize how horrible of a monster you are. It's never going to fucking happen, but goddamn, I have nothing else, dude. I have nothing else to say. You're just like, it's a self-report every fucking time. Every fucking time that you make a claim that the acknowledgement of Palestinians as human beings is a bad thing, you are reporting on yourself. You are basically saying, I'm a bad human being, okay? I'm not a good person. I'm a bad person. And I think that it's anti-Semitic to say that Palestinians are humans. That's what all Zionists think. From the river to the sea is seen as saying, meaning to cleanse all Jews in Israel from end to end. Yeah. Except Palestine was free and Jews lived there as well, for the record.
Been in the BLM manifesto for quite a while. Okay, Faith for Black Lives is a group that put out a letter to the Biden administration trying to urge Biden not to sell weapons to Israel to defend itself. Okay, and unfortunately, this has infused a huge percentage of the Democratic Party. This whole perspective has infused a large percentage of the Democratic Party. How's this?
It's terrible, dude. Ben's argument is like saying African Americans not wanting to be slaves is not about freedom, it's about genocide against the white race. It's literally that. It is that. It's exactly like that.
ايش رسالتي؟ بدناش تعملوا لنا مسيرات بدون ما تفيدونا، بدنا حل احنا، بدنا اسعار، بدنا هدنه، تعبنا دمنا الحرق. صعودنا لجوا ما بنوصفش، اي كلمات بتوفيش، تعبنا، ايش نعمل اكثر من هيك؟ اسمعونا في مكان واحد نزلوا علينا صواريخ كنا نستشهد مرة واحدة، اما هذا اللي بتعملوا لنا اياه حرام عليكم. الحرب النفسية اللي فينا لو عمر كله بدنا نتعالج ما بنتعالج. تعبنا. ايش احكي لك؟ انا بحكي الله اللي مصبرني الله اللي رابط على قلبي ايش احكي لك انا ابن سودة وزرحة ايش احكي لك يا انا مش عارفك ايش.
Well, actually, it is a fact that Jews existed before the Associated Press. Therefore, they have a right to blow them up. Facts don't care about your feelings. I mean, dude, yeah, there's nothing that these people have nothing. I've said this before. Like, they just have nothing. They have nothing.
You wrote an op-ed in the New York Times.
And there is nothing that they can do. They feel helpless. They feel hopeless. We're going to watch the UFO video after this.
Times talking about the escalating violence between Israel and Gaza. This is a terrible situation. I know that President Biden reached out to Benjamin Netanyahu and urged him to de-escalate. Do you feel like that message is getting through, and do you feel like President Biden is doing enough?
I think we need an immediate ceasefire, Seth. The situation there is absolutely terrible. Just talked to somebody in Gaza yesterday. And it's not only the loss of lives, several hundred Palestinians have been killed, 12 Israelis have been killed. But in Gaza, you are talking about a situation now where people don't have electricity, they don't have fuel, they don't have clean water. Their wastewater plants have been destroyed, and fetid excrement is coming out into the streets. You have a horrible situation, and that's built on the terrible situation that existed before the conflict, where youth unemployment was 70%. So you got a total disaster there. And I think that what the function of where we should be, especially when we're giving $4 billion a year to Israel, is we should be bringing people together, not just being one-sided and say everything that Israel does is good, because it is not. Over the years, Netanyahu and his government have become much more right-wing. You have overt racists who are now part of Netanyahu's coalition. And what the United States has got to say is, look, it's a difficult situation. It's going on for decades, no magical answer. But you guys are going to have to come together and develop a long-term plan that provides dignity for the Palestinian people, safety for the Israeli people. We've got to be pro-Israel. We've got to be pro-Palestinian. But I think just being one-sided is wrong, and it is not productive in terms of bringing peace to the region.
You know, one of the things you write about, and I think on a human level, we can...
What do I support? Like, Bernie is definitely a two-stater, and I disagree with him on that. But he's unfortunately one of the most woke people that you can have on this issue. Like, I think the two-state solution is bullshit. I used to be a two-state solutionist myself, but I now recognize the error in my ways, because the two-state solution is merely used as a tool to continuously oppress Palestinians. Come on, we're going to give you a state, bro. I promise, bro, please, bro. Believe us, bro. We want to do two-state, bro. Come on, Yazem. Just two-state, bro. Meanwhile, there is no fucking second state. There is just one state that has control and full sovereignty over the Palestinian territories, and they're just fucking bombing the shit out of them, murdering them, and controlling every part of their existence. You are against two-state solutions, so you're basically telling Israel to bomb Gaza to hell? No, I am for a one singular secular state with equal representation and equal rights for all citizens living in historic Palestine. Straight the fuck up. Straight up. And the Israelis that say, well, that would mean the wiping out of the Israeli citizens, are basically admitting. They're telling on themselves. Just like white nationalists say there is a white genocide happening in America because of immigration and because of people fucking one another and race mixing. Well, some really, really far-right Israelis say that too, by the way. They're basically admitting that, like, the Palestinians who outnumber us would fucking murder us. and treat us like the way we have treated them for far too long. Okay? That would be unacceptable, for the record. I think that no one should treat another in the same way that Israel has treated Palestinians. I don't even think Palestinians would seek out revenge of that magnitude. I think that reparations would eliminate that in its entirety. So if you want Hamas to no longer exist, then treat Palestinians like human beings.
We can all agree that everyone, be they Palestinian, be they Israeli, deserves safety, deserves security.
Secular, I thought you were Muslim. They live in peace under Islam, though. I don't give a fuck. The Ottoman Empire was closer to a fucking secular, like, the Ottoman Empire operated that territory as though it was secular. Like, and also secular doesn't mean no one has a right to believe their own religion. Secular just means that the government is not religious. Jew minority would get treated like shit in Muslim lands. Again, self-report, 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 self-report.
And they have a right to that. You denounced Hamas. Obviously, no one is on the side of shooting rockets into Israel. But the Palestinians have been let down by Hamas as a government. And Hamas does not represent all Palestinians in the same way that Benjamin Netanyahu does not represent all Israelis. One of the things that becomes really fraught is that when people criticize...
Damn, dude. Fucking Seth Meyers looks old as fuck. He really got old from COVID. I mean, me too, but sad to see in his face like this.
Criticize the Israeli government, it can somehow, and sometimes I should say instead of somehow, it can sometimes be framed as anti-Semitic. How do we have these conversations making it clear to our Jewish friends?
Do you deny that Jews have been mistreated in other Arab countries? No, I don't deny that. What do you mean? Do you think that that gives Israel a right to fucking abuse Palestinians? Like, that's such a pathetic defense, bro. Like, what the fuck? There is no... Show me the punch card.
For doing such a good job keeping us informed.
Motherfucker, show me the genocide punch card or shut the fuck up. Okay? Where is your Subway sandwich, 10 pogroms, give you 1 free program of your own punch card? Okay? If you don't have it, then shut the fuck up. Motherfuckers keep coming in here and being like, well, what about this? What about that? Show me your punch card. Where does it say that you are allowed to do your ethnic cleansing of your own if your people have been ethnically cleansed?
Our Jewish family, that this is not anti-Semitism to be specifically critical about steps or actions that a government makes.
Well, anti-Semitism is a very serious issue, and it's a growing issue in the United States.
Damn, really not representing the people? Times of Israel shows 72% of Israelis believe the Gaza operation should continue, as opposed to 24% which favor a ceasefire. That's fucking terrible, dude. That's what happens when you let the fucking right wing just dominate your politics, bro. So rabid, so fucking insane. It's like America post 9/11, like every day.
Israel has big Amanda Geiger energy. Also, early on, Israel bombed U.S. embassies and Jewish communities in neighboring countries to scare them and make them immigrate to increase their Jewish population. Much love, Hasan.
The government of Israel does not make you anti-Semitic any more than it makes you pro-Hamas if you talk about the terrible destruction now taking place in Gaza. Look, Trump is gone, and I hope to see a new face in our foreign policy, and that is an approach that brings the world together and understands that we got to deal with climate change. We got to get the vaccines out to poor countries around the world. We should be leading that effort. And in the Middle East, it is difficult, Seth. I mean, good people have worked on this issue for decades without success. But the current situation is unsustainable. If you have massive misery and 70% youth unemployment in Gaza, do you doubt for a second that there will be more and more unrest? So we have got to figure out a way to bring Israel and the Palestinians together. Understand that Hamas is not only a terrorist organization, it is corrupt, it is ineffective, and they do not reflect, I think, the wishes of the Palestinian people. And in Israel, to complicate the problem, you have a government more and more right-wing under Netanyahu. So this is not easy stuff, but as the most powerful nation on earth, we've got to do our best to bring people together and finally bring peace to that troubled region.
I would like to stress as well, it's very easy to talk about it from behind a desk here, and I certainly don't think it's easy, and I send my wishes to everyone living through that terrible time in that region. I want to ask, you were our first guest when we started doing our shows from home during the summer, and everybody was spending more time at home. Did you get to spend time with your grandkids? Was this a good year, at least on that topic?
Yes and no. For three of the kids who live in Pennsylvania, I have not been able to see them. For the kids who live in Burlington, we are getting, yes, the answer is we have seen them. And now that the masks are beginning to come off, it's a much better situation. Yeah, for all of us.
Biden is going to do Middle Eastern remarks in an hour, boys. He's going to do remarks on what's going on in the Middle East in
So, I mean, we have gone through a terrible year. And
Chomsky is correct when he says that Israel will use nukes to stop one-state solution. We cannot ignore reality, says Chomsky lives. Has he said that?
Hopefully, we're going to see some better times.
Did the grandkids?
This take is
Okay, I don't care about this
TBH.
part.
This is wild.
All right, let's watch this fucking UFO shit, boys. Come on.
We have tackled many strange stories on 60 Minutes, but perhaps
It's fucking time, dude. I've postponed this for a very long time. Okay, aliens are among us. Sussy poggers vented big sus. Okay, sussy baka aliens among us poggers. And apparently this is weird. I haven't watched this because I've been focusing on, obviously, other news stories. But no! It's already been debunked!
You are mostly cool, Pog.
I don't disagree with you at all, but saying self-report doesn't answer anything. What would be a better answer to ensure a fair single-state solution? Isn't it quite complicated? No one wants to be the minority. Yeah, but it doesn't matter. My argument is, sucks to fucking suck. Okay? Seriously. Like, single-state solution or bust. Single fucking state solution or nothing. You either want a single state solution where everybody has, where is a democratic secular country where everyone has equal fucking rights, or you want the continued oppression of Palestinians.
I used to dislike
That's
you,
what
but
it is.
did always watch you to get different perspectives
And also,
on things. Gained a lot of
reparations
respect
as
for you
well.
through the Palestinian
And for the
coverage.
record, for
When you have
all
time
that
to
like
search
fucking
the
cry,
Kintaro hotel
and this is the part where
terrorist
like,
attacks from
you know,
Israel's origins.
aggro people will get mad at me too, but
Last month of college,
the
let's go.
the Israelis that live in Israel, like, they're not going anywhere. I don't think they should be purged or they should be forced to fucking move. You got to figure out a way to live together. All right. There's a lot of aliens in my chat right now. I don't know what's going on.
At HasanAbi, Mr. Hassi, why are you being such a sussy little backer? Don't be so silly, senpai. Everything's okay. Oh, whoa.
God damn it.
Must have been the source of the Jew laser, right?
Anyway, before we move on to aliens and the sussy baka aliens that are among us, poggers.
Just got in. Why aren't you talking about the conflict in Palestine? Oh, I mean, hi Oz and good morning.
It is top of the hour, boys.
Dude, I swear to God, aliens are real, man. Dude, I have evidence. Have you ever watched Ancient Aliens? The Disclosure Us Coming Alien PLS. Thanks, Pog.
Top of the hour. Every hour where it's time for a 60-second ad break. It's kind of like trying to tell black people to go to sundown towns and make it work, knowing the majority's out for blood. We a one state and it's not going that well. Yeah, but our one state is still certainly, despite all of the ongoing cruelty that black people are subjected to under systemic racism, that is like institutional and foundational for American civilization to exist in the way that it does. They are still in a better situation overall than the Palestinians are under Israeli occupation. And that doesn't mean that the work is done in America. Wow, that's a racist take. Straight up, dude. I'm sorry. Like, comparing struggles in this way is silly. And it leads to terrible, like, struggle Olympics or whatever. But, and I say this literally in the anniversary, or right now, when there is a congressional hearing about the Tulsa massacre, okay, where white people that inappropriately blamed a black person for like whistling at a white lady went in to one of the most established black neighborhoods at the time in the United States of America and fucking shelled it with like
aliens
literal World War I planes.
I've seen them
okay,
firsthand.
And threw bombs and like makeshift bombs and brutally and violently murdered black people and burned their businesses down. I say this when I talk about the move bombing, where the Philadelphia police blew up an entire city block where little babies that were within that house from the Africa family were eviscerated with C4s that they dropped from a helicopter. Now, those are notable events, and absolutely zero people should avoid talking about them. Those are horrible things that the American government did. This is before we talk about the countless amounts of police murders of African American citizens. Okay? But those notable things that we talk about are everyday lives for the Palestinians. Every single fucking day. Every day, nonstop. So yes, a one-state solution would still be more favorable. That wouldn't mean that automatically the struggles would be over for Palestinians, who would probably still get treated as second-class citizens. There would still be much more work needed to be done, just like there is still so much work needed to be done here in America in bettering the conditions of marginalized peoples here and their ongoing struggles. But it would move the conversation in the right direction.
Intelligence and the Secretary of Defense.
I forgot to run the fucking ad, dude. God damn it. Top of the hour, every hour. It's time for a 6-second ad break. We're getting into the sussy alien bakas. Okay, if you want to no longer be a sussy among us pogger, all you need to do is subscribe. You can subscribe for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime. It's literally a fucking 10 lira now for the Turks too. 10 lira fucking subscriptions, boys. Here's the fucking ad break now.
Deliver a report is that
this motherfucker. Okay, no, I can't watch this. I see a homie looking like No Neck Ed. I'm like, nope. Automatically disqualified. Okay. Like, sorry. Too thumb-like for me to take seriously. I apologize. I'm discriminating against cops. This is pure cop discrimination through and through.
telling me 2010 he focused.
Bro, look at that, dude. Bro, this dude is an alien, dog. This dude is literally an alien among us who's doing a self-report right now. Look at that neck, dude. That is not human, okay? I've never seen such a powerful neck. This dude is the real fucking the real glizzy goblin, dude. Okay? That's crazy. I've never seen a neck like that. Like, you would never be able to choke this dude out. This dude, like, if he did jujitsu, he would be unbeatable, okay? Unshakable. You would leg lock his neck with like 2 different people and he would still be breathing perfectly. Like, he could do that breathing test while he's leg locked in the neck by 2 separate dudes. Unchokeable, undefeated. No one has ever been able to cut his like, if he got COVID, nothing would happen to him. He'd just be more powerful.
That it can evade.
Like, he has no neck, dude, but also the most neck at the same time. Where, like, he's wearing a shirt, but because the shirt's made for humans with a neck, okay, the shirt's touching his cheeks. Like, the shirt is like literally up to his goddamn eyebrows over here because of how little neck he had. I can't stop. I can't stop, dude. He's so protected, dude.
Radarized videos like this.
It's because of the... I can't stop with the neck thing because it's because of the G-force, right? Like, if you're an experienced pilot, it's like Formula 1 pilots are the same. Like, if you ever see like a Formula 1 pilot, like, they're literally all neck, no face. Because they're constantly like, ugh, they're just flexing. Isn't he a pilot too? Maybe he's not. Formula 1 pilot, Omega Lol? Wait, what? Don't you say pilot? You F1 pilot is a correct. Do you say driver? I thought you say pilot too, no? No, I'm pretty sure they're called pilots as well, aren't they? Is it an Am I making that up? That's anti-Semitic? What? I know the Formula 1 is a car, dude. Yeah, you say pilote. No, okay. This is literally an ESL moment. Like, I'm not even kidding. You say Formula 1 pilot in Turkish, and you say it in like Italian and Spanish and French and shit like that. Yeah. It's not weird to call Formula 1 drivers Formula 1 pilots. Yeah, that's how we say it. Like, that's how we say it in fucking Turkish too. Oh, you were speaking French? Good cover? No, I was thinking in Turkish. Like, that's what you say. Fucking idiotic, hog-brained, single fucking mono-language baboon Americans making fun of me for using the word pilot as I describe a Formula 1 pilot because they simply lack the fucking brain processing capabilities of having like 2 different fucking languages inside of their own goddamn fucking heads. classic American jalapeno popper eating, diabetes infested hog mentality to be like, ha, you're so fucking stupid because that's not how you say it in American, you fucking idiot. Yeah, that's you. I hope you feel fucking called out, you stupid fucking pathetic tiny brained hogs, dude. Yeah, I fucking moved here, so I can't get healthcare either. I mean, it's wild to think that like there would be any sort of like military spying capabilities that like other countries have completely lapped the United States on. You know what I mean? Like, I cannot imagine a world in which like, you know, Chinese tech had passed American tech by such a wide margin that like we literally can't even fucking comprehend what we're seeing, and we're like things that within our technological capabilities are not able to move like that thing, whatever it is.
The fact that this is
China has 4 billion people. What? China has 4 billion people, brother.
In our airspace, began seeing UAPs.
Bro, why does this read like fucking more propaganda for additional defense spending? Like, did they make this for Space Force? I feel like this is like an ad. This reads like a hashtag ad for Space Force, dude. No meme. China spends all day scamming us on Amazon. They're decades ahead of the U.S.
Hovering over the same area.
That's what friend of the show Chelsea Manning said as well. I noticed that they spin it as, we need more military and intelligence technology. What better way to expand the security apparatus than have an extraplanetary threat? Yeah. Of course, with the way that like the American military advancements work, it'll be used on like whatever kind of tech that we fucking create for aliens, to defend against aliens, will be used on like fucking 14-year-old black kids that are protesting police brutality or some shit 10 years down the line. First, it'll be used to like eviscerate children in Gaza, okay, as experimental tech. And then 5 to 10 years down the line, it'll come back to America and will be used on our own marginalized communities. Very cool. So,
Pentagon.
Wait, this was debunked to hell and backed by Thunderfoot, lol? These videos are nothing surprising to actual experts? Dude, what the fuck is a UFO expert, dude? Are you guys fucking memeing? Like, when you say this video was debunked by a guy named Thunderfoot by UFO experts, like, I find that really weird that that's your, like, you sound like a kook.
Secret U.S. technology.
Dude. Send me a fucking video from like a normal human and not some guy who literally spends their entire life like calling themselves UFO experts. Okay? Like, you're literally Joe Roganing me right now. We're like watching an issue that has been declassified recently, probably for like, you know, military propaganda purposes, let's be real. And your counter to it is like, look at this guy that is too kooky to go on the fucking Joe Rogan podcast. Like, why are you, and you're sending it to me like seriously too. Like what is an expert on like, oh no, not by UFO experts, just experts. Dog, what the fuck is an expert in unidentified objects, dude? Unidentified flying objects. Like what would that be to you? What would you call that expert?
At least publicly, since closing.
The bouquet, it's just bouquet, not a pyramid. Okay, I'm gonna watch this fucking idiotic shit. How is it more idiotic than honestly considering aliens before the 50K? Oh no, I'm sure there's an explanation for it. I do believe that like aliens are obviously a real possibility. The universe is ever expanding and technically, or to our comprehension, infinite. So it is likely that there are aliens. It's not very likely that they would come here. And it's certainly not likely, in my opinion, that they would ever be a being or a shape that is within our comprehension. Like, do you understand what I'm saying? It's not even, I don't even think that they would exist in our, like I don't even think that we would be able to literally see them and understand them, let alone have them be so fucking humanoid. Like, that is really, really human-centric and stupid to think that, like, aliens would be a fuckable object of desire. Okay? I mean, until then, though, obviously, I think that, you know, it's... Yeah, I want to fuck, like, sexy Asari consorts and shit, but the real likelihood is that, like, aliens... would probably be like bacteria, you know what I'm saying? I'm surprised you don't try to bomb it. Like, that's the weirdest part to me, that like you're a fucking like fighter pilot and you see this like object that's impossible to comprehend within your airspace that's so close to the American like mainland. And you're really not gonna bomb it? That's the weirdest part that like screams propaganda to me. You know what I mean? Like, it literally feels... I mean, I guess they weren't armed, but it feels insane to me. It's unfathomable to me that like you're a fucking fighter pilot. You see like this alien thing that you don't know what it is, and you think it's like an enemy aircraft, and you're just not gonna fire upon it. Like that's, you know.
See, the air crew filed reports. Then, like the...
Do you genuinely think that all military just open fire on anything they don't recognize? If so, you're genuinely just too hateful, man. Like, come on. You're right. I forgot that the American military is notoriously not trigger happy. And certainly they exercise restraint all the time. How could I be so foolish and blinded by my hatred, dude?
For Presidents Clinton and George W. Bush. And
I do think that, by the way, I do think that there is a more logical explanation for whatever the fuck they're seeing than aliens, for the record. Like, I don't believe that these are like aliens in those like crafts that we haven't been able to identify, just for the record, so that people don't fucking lose their shit. I like it though. I think it's cool. I wish aliens existed. Maybe they could fucking finally give us some goddamn healthcare or something. I just want to fuck aliens, dude. I'm sorry. Like, it's here. I'll admit it. Like, I want aliens to be alive and real, so I can have sex with you know, the Asari consort. Or more importantly than that, what's the James Cameron Pocahontas movie? Avatar. I want to fuck like the lady from Avatar, the blue lady. Straight up. And if any of you say that, like, you don't want to fuck the Avatar lady, you're literally a liar. Pocahontas movie, I mean, it's a direct rip of Pocahontas. James Cameron's Avatar is literally Pocahontas, but with aliens. She's like 12 feet tall. That's so hot, dude. Are you kidding me? I want her to use me like a dildo. Okay, just like pick me up and use me like a... Okay, I'm done. I gotta stop talking. I'm sorry.
and had
has to do something like that to get
fucking Inspector Gadget. That's what that dude is.
National security issue.
Answers.
Anything that enters an airspace that's not supposed to be.
It's Marco Rubio. Oh God, they couldn't find a better person to talk about fucking cool shit like aliens. Automatically disqualified. Like, I see Marco Rubio. I'm like, yeah, fuck it. Aliens aren't real. GG's boys. We're never gonna fuck blue alien pussy.
There is a threat.
History of sort of
I look like Zoe Saldana. Maybe if I dress up in blue, HasanAbi Sensei will notice me, says Nicole Champloo. Yes.
Missing.
Kind of, giggle when you bring.
Bro, this massive eared motherfucker, if he's our first point of contact for aliens, we're gonna die, okay? Aliens can be like, oh, we are literally the most evolved, civilized beings. We don't do, like, we promote tolerance and we're here to, like, improve your civilization. And then they meet Marco Rubio. They're like, never mind. It's literally humanity is cancer and an aberration that needs to be excised. Like, we need to stop humanity. You know what I'm saying?
Bring it up to keep us from having an answer to a very fundamental question.
Like, no one from Florida should be allowed to meet aliens, okay? No one from Florida or represents Florida should ever be in the vicinity of fucking aliens in any sort of, like, encounter of any sort, because automatically we're just going to get wiped out. Like, they will wipe us out. And I can't even fucking deny that. Like, imagine you're a fucking alien and the first representative of Earth is literally a human from Florida. It's the worst. It's the worst thing. There is not a better, oh no, dog, we're going to die. I wouldn't even hate on that. I'd be like, that just makes sense. Honestly, like, yeah, we deserve it. Fuck it. I'm saying it. You know?
For more on the Nimitz encounter.
God, that was terrible, dude. That's so nasty. Good video on these UAPs from Lemmino. We've watched this already. We've watched this fucking whole thing. Most of these UFO videos are taken above the ocean, so these things may not be coming from outer space, but rather from the bottom of the sea. Stop it! Imagine if it's an orca civilization. Oh my God, they're coming to kill me, dude. I fucking talk so much shit. I talk so much shit on the orcas, dude. They're literally gonna fucking murk me, dude. Oh no. Yo, dude, no. I'm sorry, orcas. Y'all are fucking sick. Bella Hadid canceled? All right, boys. Hit me with that fucking 90-day, dude. Is Griffin in here? Hit me with that motherfucking 90-day, dude. It's time. Let's do it. Let's fucking do it, dude.